feel great. For me, this fight means a lot, and I feel great. Ready. I can't wait for Saturday night.
I'm blessed. You know, it's been a long time coming. It's been long overdue. And come Saturday, I'm gonna show the world what they've been missing out on.
In terms of the best version of Canelo.
Big one.
Yeah.
For me, it's a very important fight to win. So I have that combination for this fight, this motivation and my discipline I ever had in my life, my whole career.
Canelo himself has made his mindset crystal clear. "I want no stone unturned for Crawford," he said, a line that tells you everything about his preparation. The Mexican superstar isn't just training, he's obsessing. Every drill, every round of sparring, every detail is about making sure there's zero excuse when the bell rings.
First things first, a lot has been made about your sparring session with Boots, with Boots Ennis. How did that happen? What happened?
I cannot say much, but he called us and say if he can go and sparring with me and everything. I say, of course, right? A fighter like me, we always want great sparrings because there is the thing, right? Good, very good, and I'm very grateful with him because he make that time to go and give me a good work.
Canelo goal accomplishment is more than just his power or chin. It is the evolution he has undergone. Fight by fight, he continues to reinvent himself, refining his game plan and adding different flavors. He refuses to be the same fighter twice. One night he's a pressure cooker hunting you down, the next he's a patient counterpuncher making you miss by fractions of an inch. That constant adaptation is what makes him so dangerous. You will watch the tape, but by the time you get in the ring, he has already changed the playbook.
Last, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 fights, I don't see the old Canelo who was slick making guys miss. I see a seek and destroy fighter. Do you, first of all, why? Am I right about
Because
that?
I don't
Why did
need
that
it.
happen? You don't need it.
Because I don't need it with that kind of fighters. They are slower than me. So I don't need to start moving or keep moving if I know I don't need to do something, why I'm gonna do it. If I need it, I'm gonna do it.
Canelo isn't just talking about training hard, he's sending a message straight to Crawford. He's warned that he'll walk into fight night in the best shape of his life, armed with the sharpest skills he's ever shown. It's more than confidence, it's a challenge. Canelo is telling Bud that the man standing across the ring won't be the Canelo anyone has seen before. Stronger, faster, smarter is his absolute peak.
When a fighter is fast and throw a lot of punches and everything, so well,
Crawford, who's Crawford? Where does he fall?
Yeah, I'm gonna need it for sure.
You're gonna need those skills for sure in this fight.
And you will see.
So that's my question, because you can fall into habits. And then my question in the heat of the moment is, but does Canelo still have the muscle memory? Not just knowing how to do it, of course you know how to do it, but does your body still respond the same way that it did when you were the slick Canelo? Is it still there?
We'll see Saturday night. I think I'm still there and I feel better than ever.
Then came the voice of John Ryder, a man who has been in the ring with Canelo and has tasted the danger.
Yeah, I think he's smaller, got the speed. Crawford is a special fighter though. He's one of them generational greats as well. Like, you got two generational greats going up against each other there. And for the fighter fans, it's a real treat. And listen, I'm sure financially they're both going to come away winners. But listen, it's a hell of a fight, and listen, I believe Canelo will come away victorious, but Terence Crawford has got the ability to make this really hard for him. The switch hitting, the punch variety, the punch volume. He's so smart with his hand placement, how he moves his feet. He can make it a nightmare for Canelo, but I just believe over the course of the 12 rounds, Canelo will grind him down with the weight advantage, and I'd say it beat him on a narrow points margin.
As someone who has shared the ring with Canelo, Ryder's perspective elevated the discourse. He presented the clash as a battle between two generation-type talents, both of whom could change the fight at any time. The image he painted wasn't like watching a one-sided fight. It was a battle of skill, power, and survival. What stood out from his view was that both men had the ability to break one another down, and that makes this fight all the more unpredictable. Ryder didn't stop there. He broke down the Canelo approach like someone who has felt those shots up close and personal. He deep dived into Canelo's style and did so with the mastery of a surgeon. Ryder pointed out that Canelo is not just a puncher, but rather a patient thinker who imposes his fight on you with calculated pressure freakishly round after round until your energy and thus self-belief starts wearing thin.
It's not one punch power, but it's like it's the consecutive punches he put together. He can really load up, and he doesn't seem to fade. He doesn't explode with 3 or 4 punches and then need to breathe to go again. He'll do it, and he'll put the second phase on it, and he'll put the heavy shots in again. So he's always there to throw. He's always in range to throw. He's always got the hands cocked to throw, and he doesn't waste much.
His analysis exposed why Canelo is such a factor. This is not just individual shots. It is the continuous flow of combinations to put on pressure. Ryder's viewpoint was helpful to show how dangerous it could be to be in range with someone who wastes nothing and always comes forward. It is the kind of steadiness that can wear even the sharpest defense down, and it is something you cannot escape against a fighter like Crawford. Tim Bradley, former world champion and now an analyst, also laid the same strategy that Crawford must employ moving into this fight.
You put Canelo on his back foot, he's a different fighter. A completely different fighter when you put him on his back foot. Yeah, he can move a little bit, but yeah, he likes to come forward with that power. But you put him on his back foot, let me tell you similar too. Remember, you know this guy named Usyk who put Fury on his back foot? Yeah, push the pace on him. Yeah, with volume, feints. Put Canelo on his back foot, Crawford. That's what you gotta do. You gotta put him on his back foot. Hell to the damn yeah. That's how you get it done, man. That's one aspect that you're gonna have to do. And hey, I would advise you to do it as early as damn possible. Do it as early as possible, because guess what? If you do that, you're gonna get control right away of the judges, right? They're gonna be looking at you. You're gonna dictate the pace. You're gonna dictate the flow of the fight. You gotta have him react to you, not you reacting to him. That's how you gain control of the fight real quick, real soon. Get active with that jab.
Bradley's comments went right to the gist of what could determine everything. His breakdown established that this fight is not only about strength or power, but who can strategically dictate the pace. He elaborated that moving Canelo out of his comfort zone would count for early momentum. It is the kind of advice that only comes from someone who has been in a very similar trench and competed at the highest level. If Crawford takes that route, the fight could be a lot different from what most anticipate. Even some of the guys very close to Crawford in the gym sensed this and expressed confidence.
Nah, he's strong. That man is strong. He's strong. So I don't think he'll have a problem, you know what I'm saying, with that.
As someone who has traded punches with Crawford, Stanton's thought carries added clout. That suggests a level of toughness combined with raw ability that doesn't always show in the public view. Stanton's comments reminded fans that Crawford is not just skilled, he is made for this type of stress. You could hear the confidence in the words without him having to say it, but knowing full well what he's experienced. And that unseen power could be the X factor when the lights shine the brightest. Stanton even pointed to what he thinks is the most obvious path to victory for Crawford.
Just use his skills. I think he has the better skills, and I say just box him, you know what I mean? Just box him the whole night.
He was giving advice by letting the skill do the work instead of just trying to go power for power. He characterized Crawford as a technician who could dismantle grown men based solely on punching IQ. The message was clear enough: stay sharp, stay smart, and let boxing take the lead. For someone who records round after round like Stanton has with Crawford, that was a revealing preview of how Crawford can push the fight in his favor, and added yet another wrinkle to the strategy conversation.
For 37 years old, like, he's training like he's like 25. Like, I don't think there'll be no problem at all.
It's not the only thing you feel like?
Yeah, his power.
So from the sounds of it, you're quite confident Terence will defeat Canelo on Saturday?
Correct. Correct.
obviously in the build-up, Terence has mentioned a bit that we might see a different version of him. We might see him be not necessarily aggressive, but he won't kind of just box and move and rely on his ability. Do you think we see Terence maybe try and push Canelo back a little bit?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I think so, man. Ain't gonna lie. I say he boxed him the whole time, but I feel like he'll get in there and bang with him. You know what I mean? Get out, get back in. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he has the power to be able to do that consistently and to earn Canelo's respect?
I don't know. We'll see. Because, you know, obviously Canelo, he's fought it from, what, 54 to 75. So he's fought big punchers. So, yeah.
And obviously when you're seeing such a huge fight on Saturday night, how much more does that whet your appetite when you've shared the ring with one of those main event guys, but also you probably picture yourself one day being in a similar situation, being in a big fight like that?
Yeah.
How much do you think about it yourself, being in that situation at some point in your career?
I don't think about it. I don't think about it, man.
What do you picture then when you think about
Picture him or
no,
me?
yourself? So when you see a big fight like that on Saturday night, do you picture yourself one day being in a similar position?
Yeah, but I don't think about it. I could picture it though, but I don't think about it.
Why do you not think about something like that? Not something for you to like kind of strive towards?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I just live one day at a time. You know what I mean? So I don't think too far into the future, but I do picture myself in a big fight like that one day. I really do.
So if you weren't to look too far into the future, and if you allow me to do that for you, if I was to interview you in 1 year's time, where will you be in your career?
Hopefully far, man. Fighting on a big card. Fighting on a big card. That's where I see myself.
Well, Al, listen, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your camp, and obviously enjoy the week that's to follow on Saturday night.
Yep, thank you.
He emphasized not just the talent, but the energy and discipline that Crawford brings to every training camp. Stanton said the image was of a fighter who trains with the urgency of a man much younger than his age, with the mentality and desire of a man still attempting to prove he belongs. Stanton theorized Crawford might be able to mix styles of a boxer when he needs to be smart, then sliding into bang, then pull back again. It's that flexibility which is rare and so dangerous against whoever he's fighting. Against a fighter like Canelo, unpredictability could be his biggest asset. Keith Thurman, though, didn't pull any punches with his brutal honesty regarding the myths surrounding Canelo's invincibility. He really laid it out, stripping all the glamour off it, breaking it down into layman's terms so fans didn't get confused, and gave the Canelo opponent blunt commentary they would have to consider.
What I just said, my favorite quote, I've been telling everybody, and I just can't come up with anything better. Canelo Alvarez is not, was not, and will not ever be an unbeatable fighter. That's fine. None of us are really unbeatable, right? But people got to understand this. Canelo Alvarez is not an unbeatable fighter. The question is, whoever he's fighting, we don't question what Canelo's gonna do, right? We question what his opponents are gonna do, right? It's not even really about Canelo. Canelo's gonna show up as Canelo Alvarez, right? Ginger boy. So the question is, are you gonna beat him? And are you gonna beat him today? Like when fight night happens, is it you? And is it now? You ready to beat him? Now, he's not unbeatable. Maybe you can beat him, but are you gonna do it? And are you gonna do it now?
It wasn't just commentary, it was a challenge to everyone looking to step in against Canelo. Thurman emphasized that the only thing that should concern us is whether Canelo gets in the ring. The real question that fans should be asking is, are they confident that his opponent is man enough to be ready to meet the occasion? He shifted the weight of accountability from Canelo to the challenger, something that he would have to do in his charge against the man brave enough to step into the ring with Canelo. It added intrigue to what Thurman was talking about was not so much Canelo's victories, but about how Canelo has gone about capturing them.
I thought Danny Jacobs was going to have a way better performance.
Danny actually performed well against Canelo, but he didn't take any chances. He was doing just enough to not get beaten.
And Canelo was feeling himself. Canelo had preparation. He had that head movement, losing to Floyd, this and that. He fought some flat-footed fighters. He got used to getting his head here and there and ducking down and then pulling out and spinning out and little tactics. I've never seen somebody make Danny Jacobs miss so many punches. It was highly impressive. I did not expect that, you know, because of the amateur pedigree growing up with Danny Jacobs. I know exactly what kind of New York fighter he is. And then the other one that surprised me in Canelo's career was when he defeated Andeslari Lara. I'm not a betting man most of the times. I wasn't thinking about it much, but I did not give him a thought that he's got this fight. I'm like, nah, this is a bad setup. This boxer has what it takes to outbox a Canelo Alvarez.
From Danny Jacobs playing it too safe to the shock loss to Arislandi Lara, Thurman was illustrating how Canelo picked up knowledge, improved, and became sharper every fight. Certainly the detail showed respect, but also surprise, like Thurman was shocked himself that Canelo learned and made those changes. It went some distance to reinforce that underestimating Canelo has put more than one fighter to the sword in the past, and that legacy still matters going into Crawford's fight. If there was an analytical way to quantify what were Crawford's chances, Thurman cut straight to the chase. That is, he described explicitly what could make or break the fight.
So like I said about my statement for this fight, victory comes in preparation. The only way Bud Crawford even gets close to winning is through the preparation. We can say, oh, the extra weight, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He truly wants to win. What you will see within the first opening half is him working behind the jab. If he does not work behind the jab, he is not geared for the tactical approach. And the only other approach, which is the Hail Mary, is that you hurt the gorilla neck boy, you know?
Only Ryder made it sound bigger than skill. He turned it into a test of spirit. His words about hunger hit like a clean shot, because at the end of the day, that's what decides everything. Talent is one thing, but it's the fighter who wakes up every morning ready to bleed, ready to prove it all over again. Who wins when the lights burn brightest? And that's why the start is everything. If Crawford grabs the tempo early, we might see fireworks nobody expected, but if Canelo locks into that brutal rhythm first, Bud could be staring down a long, punishing evening. Either way, it screams can't miss. So what's your call? Does Canelo's championship experience and raw power crush the smaller man? Or does Crawford once again shock the world and prove that size means nothing when greatness walks in? Decision, knockout, a single perfect punch that flips the script? Drop your predictions in the comments we're watching. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more hard-hitting breakdowns, fresh updates, and deep dives into boxing's biggest nights.